Yeah, guys, shall we start? Right. So, welcome to the 12th session of your first lesson, Basis of Business. So, hopefully, we can complete the lesson today. So, most of you guys have asked about so when you start the classes at institutes and all, right? So, I'll give a separate message, but make sure that this class will be conducted as it is till the end of your 2023 examination. In our classes, so I'm planning to start in at Malabe and Panadura. So those are the two locations at the moment. Classes patangata. May class may time may video online. එතකොට ගොඩක් වෙලාවට weekend තමයි Saturday නැත්නම් Sunday තමයි classes පටන් ගත්තොත් start කරන්න plan කරන් ඉන්නේ. So I'll convene a separate message. Most probably Malabe class will be started from the first week of the February. But whoever want to join, no issue. So they can join for this class as well. Right. So guys, can I just know this? What do you prefer? What do you prefer? I mean, like online or going to a class? So just to get your opinion. So raise your hand who would like to join. I mean, like online. Raise your hand. Online කැමති ළමයි කවුද? කවුරුත් නැද්ද? හැමෝම අකමැත්තෙන්ද join වෙන්නේ class එකට? That's so. Huh? Vanilla, Senuri, online classes are අකමැත්තෙන්ද join වෙන්නේ? Arusha, what do you prefer? What do you prefer? Okay, everyone says physical. Is that so? Yukini and Senuri? Or is that same for you too? You guys? Yes. මං හිතන්නේ දැන් අර ගෙදරට ඉඳලම කම්මැලි නේද? It's like ආසයිනේ අර නේද? and the පැල දෙකන ලෑස්ති වෙලා ගෙදර ඉඳලා නේද බෑග් එකක් දාගෙන ගිහිල්ලා class එකට යන්න එහෙමද? Okay. Right. So that would be like basically two classes, guys. So whoever lives close to Malabe, right? So you can join the LIT Institute. And for those who live close to Panadura and Morato area, so I'm looking for an institute, but so I have found some sort of thing, but I'll confirm the institute. So Panadura and Morato, and have a plan to start a class at in institute at Kaduvela as well, but not confirmed yet, right? So, but the Malabi class probably will be starting the first week of the Feb. First week of the Feb. So I'll confirm you guys in a separate message. But don't worry, this class, as it is, like I said, will be conducted as it is. Me online class ඒ විදියටම මේ දවසම යනවා. මෙන්න මේ ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් වල දෙද්දී අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම weekend class එකක් තමයි වැටෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා you can decide, right? Or online දිගටම online you can join. If not, based on your location, Malabe, Panadura, Morato, Kaduvela. So this is confirmed. Malabe will be starting from first week of the February. The time has to be confirmed. So I'll confirm that and we'll let you know. Correct. So that's a quick update, but no issue. We'll be having this class as it is. Right. So I know that, guys, this is a challenging period for everyone. So I got a lot of message for each and every class saying there's no power cut, kalure. So I received those messages. So but make sure, guys, if you face any kind of a difficulty, because those are something that we cannot control, right? Because we are studying the business environment. So in terms of business environment, we know that internal and external. Now, something like a power failure, power cut come from the external business environment. But whatever happens, guys, remember this thing. So we are in a dynamic business environment because things are changing. What is constant? What constant is the change? So, but take this as a challenge. Just do not get this as an excuse. Sometimes even guys, when there's a power cut, I used to conduct the class sometime using a light and a rechargeable light. And I don't think that for you guys, I had a class like that. So with the data package, I activate and somehow at least to do something for you. So likewise, take this as a challenge, as a challenging period. But if in case if you miss those things, please make sure you ask for recordings, right? So you are 2023 batch, so make sure from the beginning you catch up everything. So now you see, every day I write the session number, so 12 session. So our sessions 12 participate this is the session. So the day numbers, notes complete, right? So always check the chat. So then you can see, okay, I missed this. So ask for recordings. I'll be sending. And make sure you do stuff. And exam එක ලං වෙලා තියෙන pressure එක stress එක නැති වෙනවා. දැන් imagine for that 2021 දැන් තව ඩේ දවසකින් exam තියෙනවා. දැන් මුල ඉඳලම වැඩ කරපු ළමෙක්ට no pressure at all, right? So we have completed the syllabus like more than 4 months ago for that batch. We have done so many papers. We have done the revision, papers, practice question, model question, everything. දැන් ඊට පස්සේ ආයි drag වුණාට පස්සේ December තියන්න තිබුණේ ආපහු February වුණාට පස්සේ තවත් papers කරා. So they are like waiting for the exam. So not like that. So no pressure at all because you have other subjects as well and you have other things as well to do. That's why I always believe. So do your extracurriculars. Will a lot of opportunities in the future. So do those stuff. If you are doing any extra things, so do those. Focus on those. But at the same time, try to give your time for this as well. Start end of the exam at the exam you don't have like get some extra pressure or to be more stressed on, right? So you'll be a student like who's waiting for the exam. So you just go and there are some students who are waiting for the exam because they just want to finish this because they are completely confident about themselves. So be a student like that. Right, great. We were talking about the business environment. Right, now I'm going to ask you questions. So sometimes we refer this as a dynamic business environment as well. Why it's dynamic? It's changing always. Could be internally and externally. Things are changing because we cannot assume that all the things will remain as it is. Things are internally when externally when they will change. Yes. So as you know, we divide into internal business environment and the external. Right. Now open question for you. Can someone tell me how you again further divide the external environment? Just unmute yourself and say, because if we chat, I have to go back to the screen and see. So how we divide the external environment? I'm not gonna point out anyone. What do you think, guys? External අපි ආපහු කොටස් දෙකකට බෙදලා නේද? කොහොමද අපි බෙදන්නේ? So who can tell it? Guys, you cannot do like that. So who have that strength to unmute yourself and tell the answer? Let's see. So what I can assume is 2 points. So whether you know the answer and you are not confident enough to tell. Other one is you don't know the answer. What do you think? Guys, please speak up. I want messages again. What do you think? Huh? Solution? How you divide the business environment? External. Okay. Huh? How? Anila? Right, guys. Yes. Anyway, that's immediate business environment or the task environment and the macro. So yes, so you do have your immediate or task environment and your macro environment. And for this, you got your internal. So what comes under internal, guys? The forces and conditions. You got three forces, right? You got your owners or shareholders. You got the employees. What else? You got the managers, right? Apart from that, you have your organizational structure. For your information, organization structure ගැන අපි වැඩි දුර කතා කරනවා වගේ 13 ශ්‍රේණිය පළවෙනි පාඩම management, right? In some lesson එක introduction එකක් විතරයි. So then about the organizational culture and the organizational resources. So those comes within the organization. Remember that fact. So immediate එකත් අපි discuss කරලා කතා කරා. So yeah, you have your customers, right? Suppliers, competitors, producers of substitute goods, right? Lenders, creditors, everyone comes to the immediate. They are not belong to internal, but they can heavily impact the operations of the business. Am I correct? As a customer, you can heavily impact. As a competitor, you can heavily impact. So I would say we know that to somehow we can control our internal environment, which brings you the strength and weaknesses. So when there's strength, we can improve those. And when there's weakness, we can identify and we can come up with a plan how we can overcome those weaknesses, right? So I would say all the favorable stuff coming from the internal called as a strength, whereas the unfavorable situation as a weakness. Got it? But somehow you can control. You can control your employees, your managers, no doubt with that, I would say. Correct. And guys, now this is something the immediate environment, they could give you a major impact. They can heavily impact to your business operations. But even being the outside, ව්‍යාපාරයෙන් පිටත හිටියක් ලොකු impact එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now, for example, competitors, they give a really good competition. Did I tell you the story of Wonderlight? No, right? Did I tell you the story of Wonderlight soap? Yes or no? Yes, did I tell you a story about Wonderlight soap? There was a soap brand called Wonderlight. You might have heard or not sometime. හරි මං කියන්න. අහලා තියෙනවද Wonderlight කියලා සබන් වර්ගයක් තියෙනවා. right? මම දන්නේ මේක ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවද කියලා. I think you have heard about sunlight. You have heard about sunlight. Sunlight ගැන අහලා නැති කෙනෙක් නෑ නේද? Sunlight, raise your hand. You have heard about sunlight? Sunlight දන්නවනේ sunlight soap. Sunlight soap done at the. What do you think? Sunlight soap? Ahalanda. Dannawa, yes. Hari danna nan dannawa kiyanna, right? Yes. Hari. Then another Wonderlight is one of a competitor. The Sunlight soap Wonderlight. Wonderlight comes from Unilever organization. You know Unilever, right? Unilever organization is Sunlight. So ඒගොල්ලන්ට threat එකක් වුණා Wonderlight කියන brand එක. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ලොකු competition එකක් ගේනවා. So එනම් competitor කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම threat එකක් to your business. So what Sunlight did was they created an artificial demand for the Wonderlight soap. What does it mean by a just give me 1 second, guys. Right. So what does it mean by an artificial demand? Right? Artificial demand එක කිව්වොත් මොනවා වගේද? Something like this. So when the Wonderlight supplies their product to the shops, supermarkets, Sunlight sends some, somebody and purchase those products. That Wonderlight කියන brand එක ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ දාන product එක Sunlight company එක මොනවද කරන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලෝ ගිහිල්ලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ product එක purchase කරනවා. හරි. දැන් මොකක්ද ඒකට Wonderlight කියන company ට message එක? So their product is selling so fast. So there's a high demand. නේද? goods ටික දානවා විතර අනිත් පැත්තෙන් sell වෙනවා. So what's the message they are getting? So their product is, getting popular and, great demand and plus higher sales. And also sometimes they are unable to fulfill the actual demand because why? Goods ආපු ගමන්ම මේගොල්ලෝ ගිහලා ගන්නවා. ඒකට ඇත්තම consumers ලා product එකක් නැති වෙනවා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. ඒතර product shortage එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සු good එක අහනවා ඒක නැහැ. So then they realized, okay, there's a great demand for our product. We should increase our production. We should increase our production to meet the high demand. So then they took bank loans and they somehow expand the business. They hired and recruited new employees, new machineries, new factories because they wanted to expand the business, expand the capacity because there's a great demand for their product. So then once they expanded, Sunlight just stopped purchasing the product. So then only you face the real demand. දැන් තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ මොකද්ද මේක වාට උනේ කියන එක. Because that was an artificially created demand. මොකද හැමදාම මේගොල්ලෝ purchase කරන්නේ නැහැ. So that strategy they purchased. හරි දැන් එහෙනම් ඒගොල්ලන්ට පේනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ දැන් over capacity because why? They have taken bank loans, factories, employees, everything. But now there's no such a demand. So then they are unable to pay the debts to the banks, loans, etc. So they went bankrupt, right? So then Sunlight somehow bought, I think, the company. So that's why you see some competition because that's not something ethical, but you see some competition out of the market. And the producers of the substitute products. So likewise, those stuff comes under the immediate task environment. And then you got your macro environment. Macro environment එකේ අපි factors කීපයක් ගැන කතා කළා. For example, under the macro environment, we talk about the political environment. Then we talk about, I think, legal environment. So then today we'll be starting with the technological environment. We do have demography environment. So we do have social environment. So we do have economic environment, global environment, natural environment. So likewise, we'll be studying about the macro environment as well. So from the immediate and the macro environment, you are getting opportunities and threats for your business. Opportunities where a favorable impact or a favorable situation, comes outside the business. outside the business sitting in a favorable situation. A threat is where the other side of that, it's an unfavorable situation arises outside the business. Now, something like this power cut happening, or maybe as a political decision, or maybe as economic crisis, which provide a greater threat to most of the businesses. Unless otherwise you are a manufacturer of candle lights or something, right? If you are a candle, that's why now remember the fact that, guys, may have a business you cannot say specific incident එකක් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම threat එකක් වෙනවා කියලා. Then even we consider about this power cut thing, right? So we know that most of the businesses it impact, but ඒක හැම business එකකටම threat එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා ඒ incident එක opportunity එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Got it? For example, a candlelight manufacturing company where there's a greater demand for that, right? With the power නැහැ කලුවරේ ඉන්නේ හිටිපන්දම් පත්තු කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. So something like that. හරිද? හිතන්න මේ වගේ දෙයක් what comes under the natural or the global environment, something like COVID. So we know that COVID badly impact the businesses, but not all businesses, guys. For example, maybe something like a tourism related industry, hotels may be badly impacted, but something like a tech companies, a company like Zoom, right? Zoom is a company, the Zoom Incorporation, situated in, located in USA. Because of that, because Zoom is not a software introduced just, because of this pandemic situation. It was a software that we have been used previously as well, but not much popular. And have you heard about the software called Zoom prior to the pandemic? Raise your hand. I don't think, right? Zoom කියන software එකක් app එකක් ගැන අහලා තිබුණාද ඊට කලින් COVID වලට කලින්? Raise your hand. I want to see. No, right? So most of you guys know. හැබැයි Zoom කියන්නේ මේ COVID නිසා ආපු app එකක් නෙමෙයි. ඊට කලින් ඉඳලාම මේ business එක තිබුණා. හැබැයි මේක නිසා is a greater opportunity for them. So which came from the outside of the business. Because why? Because we need to, because as a participant you don't have to pay. But for us as the host, so we need to purchase this software. And also maybe not for us, maybe the other organizations, schools, universities, there's a lot of money, right? So once you subscribe, so the basic package started like $25 or $30, whereas in Sri Lanka like 305 or 4,000 rupees per month. So that's how the initial package. And you got some higher packages. So more than 100 participants, more than 1,000 participants. So likewise, so when you add new features, so you have to pay. So likewise, it's a great income source for them. So that is why Rapican in every dark cloud, you see the silver line as well. So that is how some sort of thing. And also, for example, organization like internet providers, companies like Dialog, because of this, everything went online. So then the online internet usage increases. Now it's a great source of income. So likewise, you got to see the incident, and based on that, you need to make sure you check the nature of the business, because you cannot say the same incident is an opportunity for every company. You cannot say the same incident is a threat for all the companies. Sometimes maybe for some companies it's an opportunity. At the same time, for some companies or organization that could be a threat as well. ඒ නිසා එකම සිද්ධියක් සමහර business වලට opportunity එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, සමහර business වලට ඒක threat එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So ඒ නිසා we need to make sure that we have an idea about the nature of business, what they are doing. So that's more important. Right. So these guys, we completed political, environment, and legal. So let's try our level best to complete this part. So then we'll be fully done with the business environment part as well. Right. Now coming to technological environment. Yes, we know that nowadays technology plays a major role in terms of every business. දැන් බලන්න අපි මේ කරන class එකක් thanks to Zoom, right? So we are meeting like this. So we do have a platform to conduct the class at least. So imagine that we don't have such a technology. So that is going to really impact the businesses. It's going to really impact your life standard. Imagine a life without internet. Imagine the life without WhatsApp. Imagine the life without YouTube. Huh? I don't think you are into TikTok, right? So imagine the, right? So raise your hand. Who's on TikTok? TikTok TikTok. I know that you guys are using because sometimes I see your status as well. Huh? Who have a TikTok account? Tarusha, do you have a TikTok account? Huh? No. No, right. Okay. What about girls? Are you in TikTok? No, right? Yes or no? Right. Anyway, now you can see, right? So how the technology could impact the business. So maybe for most of the businesses, that could be a good side. Correct. Yes, but technology could impact the other way around as well. Have you heard about a brand called Kodak? Have you heard about the brand called Kodak, a Japanese brand? Okay, so yeah, you guys are not from that generation, guys. Remember, I tell you this. Now, I think maybe like 10 to 15 years ago, taking a picture is a kind of a big deal, right? Because why, guys? We didn't have the digital technology and the digital cameras. Cameras, you have to include that what we call film rolls, right? So you have to include these film rolls. All the photos so some are 36 photos, some are 12 photos, 18 photos. Imagine. So once you insert that particular film roll to the camera, limit photo right? Photo studio clean clear so that's sort of a procedure, right? But so that this was a leading company who were manufacturing these film rolls. Now let me show you guys. I think you might have seen, right? Let me show you. හරි guys මෙන්න මෙහෙම තමයි ඉස්සර කැමරාස් තිබුණේ. හරි බලන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා නැත්ද? ඒතර ඩිජිටල් කැමරාස් නෙමෙයි. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපි ෆොටෝ එක දැන් අපි කැමරා යූස් කරන්නේ නැහැ නේද? We use our smartphones. But previously එහෙම දෙයක් නෙමෙයි නේද? මෙන්න මේ වගේ guys this is what we call the film roll, right? මෙන්න මේ වගේ දෙයක් අපි මේ කැමරා එකට දානවා. ඒතර තමයි අපිට ෆොටෝ එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර මේකේ තියෙන එක එක prices වලද. ඒ කියන්නේ 36 photos the 12 photos the ඒතරේ price එක වැඩි වෙනවා 36 package එකක් ගත්තා නම් මේකේ 36 ගන්න පුළුවන් likewise ඒතර අපිට සිද්ධ වෙනවා මේක මේ film roll එක insert කරන්න මේ camera එකට මෙන්න මේ වගේ cameras නේ තිබුණේ ඒ කාලේ right not digital one got it හරි but with the technology what happened because with the digital technology so we no longer use this stuff right. So then the use of the introduction of the digital camera was a threat for this Kodak business. Because why? People no longer want to use this old method. So where they didn't think of the business environment, so suddenly the brand disappeared. Right? And also the same thing happened to Nokia company, right? I think you might remember. Now you see the mobile phone market, the leaders are like Apple and Samsung. But back in those days, Nokia was the market leader, right? In terms of the mobile phone industry. Nokia tamai number one. They didn't focus on the manufacturing of smartphones. Smart නැති අනිත් model සමහරව ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවා 1100 ඊට පස්සේ N95 වගේ models smart නැති fully touch screen නැති phones. So they were think they are the leaders, but suddenly the Apple introduced their very first smartphone, and then suddenly the market collapsed and everyone want to grab this one. So you can see the development of technology impacts a lot to a business. So you need to make sure that you are aware and you are up to date. So you should be technologically up to date. So how we use that? I mean, generally, so every student know how to use social media platform, how to just operate a computer, check your emails. So those are like now basic skills. So even if you do not the basic skill, you will be out of the competition. Because why? So that sort of technical environment has been developed. So you need to make sure that from you that you grab use those stuff for the betterment of your business. You know, then I got another call technological or business use or technological trade take up in the So to avoid that, you need to make sure that you are up to date. Likewise, how we use the latest technology to our business. If not, when our competitors are using the latest technology and we don't, so then that will really impact the businesses. So that's what we need to make sure. And for you to tell something, when the concept of ATM, ලංකාවට පළවෙනි වාරට ATM එක introduce කරා bank එකකින් අනිත් banks ඔක්කොමත් ඊට පස්සේ introduce කරා. හැබැයි මොකද එහෙම උනේ නැත්තම් they cannot face the competition because one bank is ahead of them by introducing the concept of ATM machines to Sri Lanka. So then the rest of the banks also, adopted that concept. So that is how you need to make sure that you are up to date in terms of the technology. So otherwise you'll be in trouble. So likewise, guys, we need to make sure that we do analyze our business environment, and always you can use SWOT analysis. Not just for business, you can do it for yourself. So you can internally, you can say what are your strengths, right? And what are your weaknesses. So let's say you are good at accounting, good at business studies, right? Got it? And maybe not good at economics. So that's kind of weakness. So how do you overcome that? So how do you try to get the knowledge? So, internally you do an analysis. What are the favorable situations, strengths and weaknesses inside you? And then, of course, the O&T from the outside of the environment. So what are the opportunities that you can see, you grab? So you have got some great friends, supportive parents, supportive teachers, so which is an opportunity for you. And also at the same time, threat. Now this economic condition is a threat, and this challenging environment is a threat. COVID is a threat. So likewise, how do you overcome those? So you need to make sure that you analyze those. So likewise, if you could apply this to your business environment as well, you'll be always up to date, and then you'll be able to survive in the market. That is one of the objective of a business as well, to survive in the market. Otherwise, if you're not up to date, so I don't know, so that will be a real trouble for you. Right, so let's see more from the TUT in terms of the technological. So then we can move forward with the rest of the macro environment. Right, so everyone, please come to TUT page number 43. technological environment. The technological environment grows rapidly due to the innovations. Just know that every day the environment, the technology is changing. Now we do have 4G, and then now they are trying to introduce 5G. So likewise, it's always rapidly growing. The business activities as well as lifestyle of individuals have changed due to changes in the technological environmental factors. An advancement in the computer technology, your communication technology due to internet or social media apps. So that has been, significantly changed the business environment. Correct. Now you can see from the industrial era where we use some sort of a machineries. Now we use some advanced machineries. Correct. And business now use telephones and emails. Actually, those are not new things, right? Instead of the traditional email. And also early days, business published the advertisement, right? For example, in as the billboards or in a television, but nowadays they use social media platforms, right? Websites to do their advertisements. So that's one of the technological improvement. And today's computers and information systems are used to record accounting information. Yes, now if you talk about the accounting, and previously the concept of ledgers, concept of bookkeepers, you see there was a manual process. But now everything has been automated, everything has been used in the computerized environment. And some goods and services become outdated rapidly due to the rapid changes in the technology. Now, have you heard about this particular product, guys? Something called a typewriter. Have you heard about the product called a typewriter? So you are from the new generation, right? You guys didn't know about this stuff. But I guess there was something called a typewriter. So the concept of typewriter, we no longer use those typewriter. Imagine you had to type like this, guys. Where there's you cannot do any edit, right? Or maybe the dana page, right? Page so like this, there's a keyboard, right? Maybe the keyboard it's like the computer keyboard, right? Computer keyboard page or type or type. So you cannot erase, right? You cannot erase. So let's say when you want to write a letter, so likewise, you use this stuff. So no editing, no erasing, anything. Okay. So, but this is not a product that we don't use no longer. Got it? So likewise. And also, can I know some of the example from your end, guys? What do you think? What do you think? Can you give me an example where that you do not no longer use that product? What do you think, guys? Do you have kind of any product like this? Or the product data use what do you think? Any example from your end? I can provide a list of examples. What do you think? Product that we no longer use. Right. Guys, what do you think about radio? Right? Radio. But remember that the concept of radio is still there. Radio කෙනෙක් ඇතිලා තියෙනවා. මම කියන radio කියන product එක නැතිලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි radio කියන concept එක අපි තාමත් use කරනවා. Why? Even if you have a smartphone, you can listen to radio, right? Even from the internet, right? Internet එකෙන් ඔයාලට live radio listen කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ radio කියන concept එක නැතිලා නැහැ. Radio එක කියන product එක නැතිලා තියෙනවා. Megaphone. What does it mean by megaphone, guys? Megaphone. What does it stand for megaphone? Megaphone. Let's check and see. What do you think? Product that we do not use no longer. But maybe in the future, something like television, right? Now I do not watch, I don't watch television, right? If I want anything, I just go to YouTube and get the content, right? So I'm not a person who watch television. So I would say it's a product that has some greater risk, right? So likewise, there could be some product outdated. So where we no longer use, or maybe something like a digital cameras as well. And then smartphone now digital camera, something like that. And also something like dongles. And after that, Wi-Fi wage use can dongle usage ඊට පස්සේ මම දන්නේ ඊට සාර it's a game ගහනවා වගේ එක equipment තිබුණා right so but you know with the popularity of smartphones so there's no usage of those as well. So this that is one of the reasons, right? That's as per the technological development. Yes. So yes, you can come up with some examples as well. Some product has been outdated rapidly, right? So example, typewriter. So we no longer use typewriters. Right? Okay. Business should try to get the use of the opportunities and face the threats which implies from the changes in the technological environment. අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ කොහොමද මේකේ තියෙන opportunities grab කරන්නත් අනිත් පැත්තෙන් කොහොමද මේකේ තියෙන threats minimize කරන්න. Right, so guys, so are we clear about that part? Everyone? Got it, right. So with that, here we come for the next environment, which is the economic environment. This is not a good time to talk about the economy, guys. That's so. Yes, we know that economic environment impacts a lot to any business. Ownama business ekata economic environment impact එකක් තියෙනවා. Right, now what are the things that we need to discuss under the economic environment? Economic. What do you think, guys? Economic environment. So now everyone is talking about the inflation. Can someone tell me what does it mean by inflation? Inflation. Now everyone is talking about the inflation is increasing, right? What does it stand? Yes, now when it comes to the general price level of the goods and services, now we can see day by day it's increasing. Now for your example, now I saw this particular post in Facebook. So where they have come up with, because now Sri Lanka is a country where we have ranked 12th. We have ranked 12th in terms of the highly inflation countries. ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩිපුරම inflation එකක් තියෙන countries list එකේ 12th ඉන්නවා අපි. United. මේකේ කවුද මුලින්ම ඉන්නේ? Countries like Zimbabwe, Venezuela, then like Libya, Haiti, so those countries. But we are ranked 12th. කියන්නේ ලෝකයේ වැඩිපුරම inflation එකක් තියෙන රටවල් rank list එකේ අපි ඉන්නවා 12th. Imagine this had happened. Now you should have an understanding about the price level, right? So now I'm going to ask. Now if you compare with 2020 මුල සහ 2022, now we just started ne. අපි ගත්තොත් මොනවාරි product. A product like a gas cylinder, for your information, it was like 1,450. Now I think a gas cylinder costs around more than 3,000. Sorry, I think 2,700 somewhere. 2,700, right? But it's not even safe to use as well. If you think about a dairy milk packet, previously the 400 gram was around, I think 320 or somewhere. Now it's 595. If you think about the paddy and everything, Sahal Balur has been like, has been increased in so much of a percentage. So for that, yes, so inflation matters a lot for business, because why? When there's a high inflation, as a businessman, you are not in a position to take the decision about the business, because you see the uncertainty is there. Now you budgeted, because, for example, imagine the vegetable prices, imagine those basic food prices. Imagine if you are running a restaurant, what happens? So your cost will increase. At the same time, you cannot increase the price as well as you think. So if you increase the price, again the demand will decrease. The price වැඩි කරොත් මිනිස්සු restaurant එක එන එක අඩු වෙයි. ඒක එක පැත්තකින් ආයි cost එක වැඩි වෙනවා. මොනවාද gas වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. Vegetables, fruits and all the basic food items. So it's not gonna help the businesses. And also, you know, there's an uncertainty in terms of making the decisions. දැන් ඔයා බජට් කරනවා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට බිස්නස් එකක් ස්ටාර්ට් කරන්න මොනවාරි මැෂිනරි එකක් පර්චේස් කරන්න. Right? So you went to bank and get a 1 million loan as well. But සතියක් බලද්දි මේ මැෂින් එකේ prices වැඩි වෙලා 1.2 million because of the inflation. Because we see import restrictions, things like that. The prices මෙහෙම කරද්දි වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒකෝට ඔයා බජට් කරේ 1 million to purchase a machinery, even you apply a bank loan as well. But when the bank loan approved, because it takes some time, a week or 2 weeks, you see that the price has been increased up to 1.2 million. Now you have to again find 200,000 to purchase this one. So which will a great threat to you. So that is why economic environment is so critical to any kind of business, not just for business, for us as individuals as well. So whereas one factor is the inflation. So that's about the increase of the general price level of the economy. So as a government, they need to make sure that they somehow control it. Now let's see, and let's go and have some actual figures. So where you can go to the central bank report. I think I have showed you as well previously how you can go to central bank report and refer the stuff. So let me show you how the prices have been increased throughout the period. So what you can do is you can go to cbsl.gov.lk. So that's the CBSL official website. And then you can go to the publications and then you click on the annual report. And once you click the annual report, you can see in terms of the years, you can just pick the whatever the year that you want, but we'll refer the latest year, which is the 2022 report. And then you got some chapters. I'll go with the prices and wages. Right. So let's see how the prices have been increased. But even if you compare, guys, මේකේ තියෙනවට වඩා දැන් ඇත්තටම වැඩි වෙලා මොකද මේක 2020 report එකනේ. For you to tell about something central bank reports හරි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් guys මේ දැන් 2021ත් ඉවරයිනේ. හැබැයි 2021 report එක එන්නේ 2022 April, because it takes some time for them to prepare those. ඒ කියන්නේ 2020 report එක නම් එනවා 2021 April. දැන් ඔය අපි ළඟ තියෙන 2021 April ආපු report එක. but හැබැයි මේකට වඩා දැන් ගොඩක් prices තව වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. Let's have a look at now the inflation figures. Right. ඉතින් මේක ඔයා දන්නවා අනිවාර්යෙන්ම. If you could check with your parents, they might tell you how the prices have been increased. Here you can see the movements of prices. මොනවාද? අනිවාර්යෙන්ම coconut නේද? coconut 151කින් මිල වැඩි වෙලා. ඒ කියන්නේ කලින් අපි දමු පොල් ගෙඩියක් රුපියල් 100 නම් දැන් 150යි 51.19. something like rice මේක නම් ඇත්තටම වැරදි figure. දැන් ඊට වඩා වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ 11.7 වලින් වැඩි වුණා කියලා. ඊට වැඩි අනිවාර්යෙන්ම. imagine something like this something like a turmeric powder. Api kiwat kahakudu use karna one of a culinary or a spices. Imagine 145.7 increase ekak. because මොකද ඒක import කරන එක නතර කරා. Coconut oil 32.3 වලින් වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. Dal, right, milk powder මේකත් වැරදි. දැන් බැලුවොත් milk powder දැන් ඊට වඩා ගොඩක් වැඩි prices. Okay, so everything has been increased. You can see that from the point of view, because why? When there's an inflation, that is not going to be good for the economy, because there are so many drawbacks, so many disadvantages in terms of the business organization, right? So what we can do is, guys, so we'll discuss one by one. So we'll come to the economic environment, and then I'll also explain the interest rate as well. So will you be able to complete this part? So in terms of the interest rates and in terms of the inflation. I'll explain the interest rate, but will you be able to complete your note? So what does it mean by interest rate and inflation? Inflation is a continuous increase in the general price levels of the goods and services, right? Not only goods, even services. Now you might see what has happened to the bus fares. But bus fares have been increased. Then bus fares වාඩිලා යන වෙනම price එකක්, හිටගෙන යන වෙනම price එකක්. Okay, so the inflation, you can see not just for goods, right? Services වල prices වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. මොකද දැන් එකක් වැඩි වෙච්ච ගමන් අනිත් ඔක්කොම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ prices වැඩි කරනවා, because it impact a lot, because this is a cycle. Now when the fuel price increases, everyone increase their prices, because that is directly involved. So you see that pattern. So I'll separately explain you the interest rate, but you can also complete the two spaces. So then I'll next come to the interest rate, the concept of interest rate. Right, guys, I hope you're done with writing. If you're still writing, just let me know so I can share the screen again. So assuming that you are done, so let me explain you by coming to the whiteboard. Right. මේ බලන්න එහෙනම්. දැන් අපිට දැනගන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ කොහොමද මේ economic environment එක business වලට impact වෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් when there's inflation, that is not good for the businesses. Because why? When there's inflation, prices will increase, then the production cost will increase for a business. හිතන්න මම රෙස්ටුරන්ට් එකක් කරනවා නම් දැන් එළවලු ගණන් ගිහලා තියෙනවා, සහල් ගණන් ගිහලා තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මගේ cost එක වැඩි වෙනවා. So not good for me as a businessman. Got it right? ඒත් එක්කම ඒ නිසා I will have to increase the price of the goods. ඒ නිසා මට කෑම එකක price එක වැඩි කරන්න වෙනවා. ඒතකොට price එක වැඩි කරොත් මිනිස්සුන්ගේ demand එක අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නේද? කලින් meal එකක් තිබුණේ 200 rupees. So I'll have to make a 230 or 250. එතකොට ඒකට එන customers ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Correct? So something like that. හරි මේ බලන්න එනවා. ඒ ගැන ගොඩාක්ම detail කතා කරා if you are economic student about the demand and supply. Now talking about the interest rate, so basically we can come to a two interest rates. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි interest rate එක කිව්වට පස්සේ අපිට දෙකක් ගැන කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. For your information මේ ගැන අපි in detail කතා කරනවා when it come to your lesson number 3, government and business. There's something called a monetary policy that we'll be discussing this part when it comes to that lesson. But yes, we do have something called a deposit rate. So deposit rate and the lending rate. Lending rate. Now, what does it mean by deposit rate is where you see normally in a bank. So there are 3 types of accounts. We do have current accounts. මේක අහලා ඇති නේද? චංගම ගිණුම් කියලා current account එකක්. Then we do have fixed deposits. Fixed deposits ස්ථාවර තැන්පතු කියලා අහලා ඇති fixed deposits. And then we do have savings, the normal savings account. Right? හරි දැන් ඔයාගේ මතකේ නිවැරදි නම් kids, you are not getting any interest income for your current account. The current account එකට interest ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක ඔයා දන්න දෙයක්. Correct? But if not, we'll be talking about this stuff when it comes to lesson number 3. But you know, current account එකේ hold එකකට interest ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. Now for fixed deposit, savings account, yes, there will be an interest income. Interest income එකක් තියෙනවා. And what will happen? When the interest rate increases, what will happen? Previously, let's imagine for you got 80%, sorry, 8% for your this thing. Now, as per the result, you are getting like 12%. So, if you have fixed deposits, your income will increases, which is a good thing for you. Got it? But at the same time, when you come to the lending rates, so there are some instances where the bank do some lendings. So it could be in terms of when you come to business, as an example, bank overdraft. අපි කියන bank OD එකක් කියලා නේද? The bank overdraft is a short-term loan facility provided to the current account holders, and then you got some business loans, business එහෙම නැත්නම් trade loans. Now what happened? Previously, they were charging like, you know, let's say 18%. Now the rate has been increased to 21%. Now you know that interest expense is an expense for you. So when the interest rate increases, you have to pay more expense, which will reduce your profit. So that is how it impacts to your business. So likewise, if you consider the business and the trade loan, previously the bank charged you 15% interest. Now, because of the economic environment decision to increase the interest rate, now they are charging you around like 18%. So which you can see your interest expense now increased. So then your cost increases. When your cost increases, your profit decreases. So not good for the businesses. And also, if you're trying to expand your business, now you are not in a position to take bank loans. You think the interest rate is high. So the business opportunities, when there's business opportunity, you cannot grab it because you are not in a position to expand the business. If you thought of previously expand the business, by taking a bank loan, now you will step down to that decision, right? Not to do like that. So we'll be deciding, we'll be talking about the reasons why they increase and decrease. That is something something comes under the lesson number 3. ඒකේ අපි කතා කරන ඇයි මේ interest rate increase කරන්නේ, ඇයි මේක decrease කරන්නේ. There are reasons behind that. Got it? But at the moment that we discussed, so how it impact the businesses. Correct. So now you have an idea about the inflation and also interest rate as well. Now, can we have this short note, guys? I know that you guys are maintaining a short notebook. So will you be able to take this for your information anyway? අපි මේවා ගැන in detail කතා කරනවා lesson number 3 එකට ආවට පස්සේ. Got it? So mainly when you say interest rate, deposit rate, ඒක නවාට ලැබෙන income එක, deposit rate. And also the lending rate can අරගෙන තියෙන loans වලින් the interest that you will have to pay. So this is a good point where when they increase the deposit rate, so you'll encourage to deposit. But when the bank overdraft and the business rate loan interest increases, that is not going to impact you in a favorable manner. So now you see the relationship between the opportunities and threats. Now imagine the other way around. So where previously it was 18%, now they reduced up to 50%. Now that's an opportunity for you as a business, because now you can expand your business. Now your cost is less. So that is how you see, the factors in the economic environment could be impact you as a favorable, which is an opportunity, and also at the same time as a threat as well. So at the moment, we are facing a lot of threats in terms of the economic environment. Right, guys. So I hope you're clear with that. So just take this for your information. So with that, we are done with the inflation and interest rate. And also we need to make sure we discuss income distribution as well. Income distribution. So bank overdraft is a facility that you get as a current account holder. As a businessman, one of a facility that will be getting from the bank where you can withdraw checks beyond the balance of the current account. Again, current account balance එකට වඩා වැඩි product checks issue කරන kind of a facility that you are receiving. In detail remember lesson number 1 කියන්නේ ඔයාලට introduction lesson එකක්. හැම දෙයක් ගැනම අපි basic තමයි කතා කරන්නේ. So we are not going into detail, which is why there are separate lessons for those. But I'm pretty sure you have heard the word bank overdraft. Or within brackets, I would say a short-term loan facility. Short-term lending facility. Short-term lending facility. We normally can OD එකක් කියලා. OD එකක්. Right, so I'll give like another 1 minute for this. So then we come to the income distribution as well. Let's see how it will impact the businesses in terms of the income distribution. So you can mark your attendance as well while you're writing. Just click as participated. Right, guys. Our one classes ගැන මම දැන් ඊට පස්සේ join වෙන කීප දෙනෙක් ඉන්න. I'll end of the session. I'll brief you on that. Right, guys, I hope you're done with this. Now, what does it mean by the income distribution? Yes. Right. Yes, we need to make sure that we know that there's something called gross domestic product. The total income of the country. So not just your individual income, the total income of the country. So we can, the central bank provide those details that they come up with the total income for the country or the total production. So if you try to divide that into the average population, so you are getting some sort of a assumed figure, not an actual figure. You try to divide the total income of the country. You divide it by the average population. එතකොට එන එක සිටිසන් කෙනෙක්ට කොච්චර ඉන්කම් එකක් ලැබෙනවද කියන එක. පැහැදිලිද? ඒක ඇත්තම ෆිගර් එකක් නෙමෙයි because it's not like that. For example, Sri Lanka we have like around 600,000 per capita income, per person income. හැබැයි ඒකට වඩා වැඩි අයත් තියෙනවා අඩු අයත් තියෙනවා. But this is an assumed figure, right? So where the total income you divide it by the average population. But those stuff you'll be studying in economics in advance. But what its impact to a business is when the earnings are high, when the income distribution is high or increasing, what happens? So everyone will get more income, so then they will be purchasing goods and services. They will be purchasing more goods and services when your income increases. Now let's say as a country, so our per capita income, per person කෙනෙක්ගේ income එක 600,000 ඉඳලා 800,000 වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ he will be demanding or he will be purchasing more goods and services, which means that as a business he'll be having more businesses. Because why? People are purchasing more goods and services because their income has been increased. Got it? So that could be a favorable situation for us. Now let's have a look at this is in your tutor as well. So let's go to page number. You can see the Sri Lanka's per capita income. I have included that in that table. So if you guys come back to the page number, I think somewhere around page number, yes, 26. Shall everyone come to page number 26? What does it stand for? The GDP per capita. So which means that the total income you distribute by the average population. ඒකල කියන සාමාන්‍ය එක පුද්ගලයාගේ ආදායම නේද? අපි කියන ඒක පුද්ගල ආදායම. එක් පුද්ගලයාගේ ආදායම ලංකාවේ අවුරුද්දකට 688,790. Got it? හැබැයි මේක increase වෙනවා හිතන්නකෝ 2021 වෙද්දී මේක increase වෙනවා 950,000 වලට. Now, which is good for the businesses. Why? Because people will have more income, so they will be purchasing more goods and services. Right? Correct. So, මේක අපිට central bank report එකේ බලන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද හරියටම මේ අවුරුද්දේ ඒක ආපහු වැඩි වෙලාද කියන එක. දැන් මෙතන තියෙන 2019 figures, but you can see here's the 2019 figure. අපි පොඩ්ඩක් බලමුද මේක මේ අවුරුද්දේ වැඩි වෙලාද කියලා. like 2022 වල. So you have to go to the national output and let's see. Let's have a look at on this. නෑ නේද? ඇත්තටම වැඩි වෙලා නැහැ නේද? කීයද තියෙන්නේ? 683. නේද? එතන වැඩි වෙලා නැහැ. මෙතන 683යි. මෙතන පිටේ 688යි නේද? ඇත්තටම අඩු වෙලා නේද? මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? මේ තින් ළමයි 2019 right? 2019 2020 දී 688,000 එක 683,000 වෙලා. ඒ කියන්නේ 5,000 වලින් වගේ ලංකාවේ average income එක අඩු වෙලා. කියන්නේ මිනිස්සු විතර purchase කරන ප්‍රමාණයක් අඩු වෙනවා. Right? So likewise you see those stuff. Here you see the mid-year population. The ලංකාවේ mid-year population now we are close to 22 million. Right? දැන් අපිට 21 million කියන්න බෑ. දැන් අපිට 21.9. එනිසා දැන් population එක අහුවොත් you can say 21.9 million. එහෙම නැත්නම් 22 million. Right? Population of the country. Correct. Right. So that's about it, guys. So let's complete your note as well. So let's come back to the page. So what is the message here? When the income distribution increases, that's good for the businesses. And also please complete the note for the level of employment as well. So I'll be explaining that. So, but you can easily complete that part as well. So in terms of the income distribution, it is how the national income of a country has been distributed among its people. Example as an example 2019 the average income it was like 183,000 183,000 sorry 188,719. On 2020 amount 2020 නම් මොකද වෙලා තිබුණේ ඒක 683යි 106ට අඩු වෙලා තිබුණා right එහෙනම් අඩු වෙලා තියෙන income 2019, 2020. Right. Level of employment, complete karagana. So which means that for all the people who are expecting a job, right, they should receive a job. They need to make sure that because now you guys are not a person, right, who are expecting a job. You guys are full-time students. But imagine once you're done with your studies, once you're done with your exams, so you are kind of expecting a job. So in that manner, let's say you are a person who's expecting a job and you haven't received a job yet, and now that's what we call the unemployment, right? So when the unemployment level increases, that is really impact the businesses, because why? That causes a lot of problems. So when there's unemployment, so it's not good for the businesses as well. So those are the criteria comes under the economic environment. So it's a very broad concept, even though we discuss in a very simple manner. If you actually look into the real picture, so it's more complicated to discuss and explain the concepts. But here we are trying to get you a general understanding about those stuff and how it's going to impact the businesses in terms of favorably or unfavorably, right? So those when you come to the economic environment. But remember, we are not studying economics here. We are studying business studies. But I thought of giving you these explanations. If in case you are not studying economics, so then you get some general understanding. That's more important. Right, guys, are we done about this part? Shall I explain you more about the level of employment? එනවා job එකක් expect කරන කෙනෙක්ට නම් job එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් එයා job එකක් expect කරන හැබැයි job එකක් තාම ලැබිලා නැහැ කියලා කියන්නේ අන්න unemployment situation එකක්. So you are unemployed. But at the moment you cannot say you are unemployed. Because you are not, at the moment you are not expecting a job. You are a full-time student. Right? No, you are a full-time student. So you are not belong to that group. Even though you are not doing a job, you are not belong to that group because you are a full-time student, because you are not expecting a job at the moment. Let's say after your examination, after your A-levels, if you are expecting a job or you are ready to work and you are expecting, but you haven't received yet. So then you will be belong to unemployment, right? So the level of employment also matters for businesses favorably and unfavorably. Correct. So now let's have a look at on the last year about the labor market indicators. What do you think, guys? මම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මොකද හිතන්නේ 2020 employment වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැතිද අඩු වෙන්නේ නැතිද 2020 jobs මිනිසුන්ට jobs වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැතිද අඩු වෙන්නේ නැතිද? What do you think? A general idea. මම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවොත් නේද මිනිසුන්ගේ jobs වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැතිද jobs අඩු වෙන්නේ නැතිද? What do you think? Yes, I hope we are done with this part. So I'm going to move. Reduced column. Sir, then what about the students who are doing part-time jobs? Do they belong to the employment of yes? Oh, if you are doing a part-time, that doesn't matter, guys. Part-time, the full-time, the kineka matter with job that karana you are employed. Correct? Ek part-time, the full-time, the kineka passe thamai decide with. That we don't care at all. එතකොට එයා යන්නේ එතකොට එයා employed category එක තමයි යන්නේ, right? Part-time employed. Good. That's a good question that you raised. Alright. Now let me explain. හරි. මොකද හිතන්නේ 2019 20 බැලුවොත් employment වැඩි වෙලාද අඩු වෙලාද what do you think? Compared to 2019 2020 අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක්. එකක් තමයි if you think the employment level එක වැඩි වෙද්දී right unemployment එක අඩු වෙනවා. Got it? Whether everyone is now employed. So when the employment level increases, unemployment decreases. හැබැයි මේක අනිත් පැත්තේ කිව්වොත් employment level එක decreases කියන්නේ unemployed ට වැඩි වෙනවා නේද? unemployed ලා වැඩි වෙනවා. So unemployment increases. I think you got that point. පැහැදිලිනේ? එහෙනම් employees ලා වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් employment level එක you are employed. So employment level එක වැඩි වෙනවා එහෙනම් unemployment අඩු වෙනවා. Employment level එක අඩු වෙනවා නම් when that is it decreases and your unemployment increases. Now 2020 මොනවද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Yes, unemployment වැඩි වෙලා නේද? මොකද මේ COVID ස්ථාප්තයත් එක්ක මිනිසුන්ගේ රැකියා අහිමි වුණා නේද? සංචාරක ව්‍යාපාරය වෙන්න පුළුවන්. වෙනත් ව්‍යාපාර වෙන්න පුළුවන් රැකියා ගොඩක් අහිමි වෙනවා. ඒක ලංකාව විතරක් නෙමෙයි මුළු ලෝකෙම නේද? even a country like USA the unemployment rate increases due to COVID, right? So එන අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් last year yes unemployment increased කියන එක. හරි දැන් අපි බලමු මේක කියලා central bank report එකේ මේක කොහොමද mention වෙන්නේ කියලා. So I'm referring to the latest central bank report. Guys, remember that. So for some important points, mama venama wala tips walata extractions aragena tiyena central bank report එකේ. Also giving separate notes on those. හරි මොනවද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? ලංකාවේ labor force එක නේද ලංකාවේ labor force එක තියෙනවා 8.5 million 2019 ඒ වගේම 8.4 වෙලා තියෙන 2020 හරි මේ බලන්න මොනවද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ yes employed population එක unemployment එක වැඩි වෙලා නේද ඒ කියන්නේ 2019 unemployed 4.8 ඒ කියන්නේ 100 දෙනෙක් ගත්තොත් 4.8කට jobs නැහැ පැහැදිලිද unemployment rate හැබැයි 2020 වෙද්දී ඒක 5.5 වෙලා ඒ කියන්නේ 100ක් ගත්තොත් 5ක් jobs නැහැ ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩි වෙලා කියන්නේ so unemployment rate has been increased in economy again I'm telling you and also can you see the departures for foreign employment again decreases due to COVID and only 53,000 so again the unemployment rate has been increased compared to 2019 and 2020 right because that's gonna impact the businesses right correct so coming back to the tute let's see our next concept yes international relations and foreign exchange rates shall we complete that part as well international relations and the foreign exchange rates. Will you be able to complete that part, please? Right, guys. So I'll give like another 1 minute. So international relations is all about as a country, how we deal with other countries, the rest of the world, how our economic policy. නේද? අපි දැන් සමහරට කියනවා නිදර්ශන China වලට විතරක් අපි relationship පවත්වනවා, but not with other countries. So we need to make sure we have a balanced relationship with all the countries, not just focusing one or two countries, not just focusing India or China. So we need to make sure that we maintain good relationship with, in terms of Japan, US, with almost every countries. So that's something we can think about. Correct? So anyway guys, for your information, අපි මේවා ගැන වැඩිපුර කතා කරනවා trade agreements ගැන ආට lesson එකක් තියෙනවා trade lesson කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ වගේ grade 12 syllabus එකේ අන්තිම lesson එක lesson number 11 trade lesson. එතනදී අපි මේවා ගැන in detail කතා කරන මොනවාද examples for trade agreements, trade zones, everything, right? So that will be having a detailed explanation. Foreign exchange rate නේද අද අපි කතා කරන key topic එකක්. So one of the key topic nowadays, we all talk about the foreign exchange rate. So we talk about the dollar crisis, the foreign reserve crisis, and the lack of dollars, how it impact the businesses. So it's about the rate at which the currency of one country is exchanged with the currency of another country. Now, can someone tell what's the dollar rate today, guys? At the dollar get up there for Sri Lankan rupees, $1. How much you can get Sri Lankan rupees? Simple thing, right? Just go to Google and Google it. What do you think? Can I see the chat box? $202.99 නේද? මේක තමයි ඉතින් බැංක් එකෙන් දෙන price එක. හැබැයි අත්ත මාකට් එකේ මීට වඩා price එක වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩොලර් එකකට ඔයාලට ලැබෙනවා කීයක්ද රුපීස්? රුපියල් 202ක් නේද? ඔයා මේ විදිහට බැලුවොත් ඔයාලට පේනවා කොහොමද මේක වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. example එකක් විදිහට අපි ගත්තොත් ඉතින් 1 year වගේ. sorry, not the 1 year. අපි ගත්තොත් 5 years නේද කොහොමද වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඩොලර් එක පැහැදිලි නේද කොහොමද ඩොලර් එක වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා පේනවද 2019 කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ හරිය නේද 2017 ඩොලර් එක 146ට තිබිලා තියෙනවා 2017 right, you can see 2017. So මේ විදිහට එන්න ඩොලර් එක 2018 19 වෙද්දී මේ වගේ 181 ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මෙහෙම වැඩි වෙලා අඩු වෙලා අන්තිමට දැන් 2021 January 25th 2022 January 25th you got the dollar 202, right? 0.99 මේක තමයි bank rate එක. හැබැයි actual rate එක market එකේ ඊට වඩා වැඩි වෙනවා පුළුවන්, right? So එහෙනම් මෙන්න අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් foreign exchange rate එක කියලා. Shall we complete this one? Shall I give like another 1 minute? So then I will explain how it impact the business in terms of the foreign exchange rate, how it's going to impact the business. Right, so assuming that you are done with writing, if you are still writing, please make sure you inform guys. I can again share the screen. දැන් බලන්න අපි හදන්න යන්නේ කොහොමද මේ foreign exchange rate එක businesses වලට impact වෙන්නේ කියලා. If you want to have this note as well, you can take in a short notebook. I don't think it's a difficult thing, right? Employment level වැඩි වෙනවා නම් unemployment එක අඩු වෙනවා. මිනිස්සු හැමෝම jobs වල ඉඳිද්දි jobs නැති ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙනවා. හැබැයි jobs ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙනවා කියන්නේ unemployment එක increase වෙනවා. Right? Hi, now I'm gonna explain you how this interest rate will impact the businesses. Sorry, the currency rate, the foreign exchange rate. Right, so I'm gonna remove this part. Now imagine like this. Now when it comes to the foreign trade, right? It's not just about the foreign trade. So basically, guys, the foreign trade, we can divide into two parts, saying imports and exports. So what does it mean by imports is where I would say we import motor vehicles from Japan. We import computers, laptops from USA. We import a lot of things from China. We import oil from India. We import crude oil from Middle East. So you see, where we purchase a good or services from another country, we normally say as an import. Anyway, you'll be having a lesson, a trade lesson. So what does it mean by export? I would say we export tea to Middle East. We export apparel to USA. So likewise, so where we sell a good or service to another country. Now, how it's going to impact your business? Like you can see, so when you come to the foreign trade, you might have like imports and exports. හරි දැන් මේ දවස්වල කියවනේ මේ oil crisis එක ඩොලර් එක රේට් එක ඉහළ ගිහිල්ලා නේද ඒ නිසා ඩොලර් oil ගෙන්නන්න වැඩිපුර ඩොලර්ස් ඕන හිතන්න මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක් now you are an oil importer right මේ බලන්න so you are an oil importer where now the dollar rate increases right now at the moment you got like 203 ne and 203 rupees per $1. Am I correct? දැන් මේ රේට් එක ඉන්ක්‍රීස් වෙනවා $1 වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැනේ. දැන් ඩොලර් එකක් 215ක් වෙලා. පැහැදිලිද? මෙන්න එහෙනම් අපි කියන මේ රුපිය එක depreciate වුණා කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපේ රුපිය අගය අඩු වුණා because why we have to pay more rupees to get $1. Now imagine one oil barrel or I would say a crude oil barrel, let's say $1,000. දැන් මේ විදිහට oil barrel එකක් තියෙනවා. Oil. කීයද? $1,000. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ එහෙනම් country එකට? Now previously in order to import one crude oil barrel, I would say you had to pay 203 into $1,000. How much? Somewhere around 203,000. පැහැදිලිද? එහෙනම් කලින් ඔයාලට මෙච්චරක් pay කරන්න උනා. හැබැයි දැන් මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? දැන් ඔයාලට ඩොලර් එකකට 215ක් ගෙවන්න වෙනවා. එහෙනම් $1,000 කීයක්ද? So 250, right? Yes. එහෙනම් කලින් 2,03,000ක් ගෙවුව එකට දැන් 2,15,000ක්. දැන් මොනවා වේද ලංකාවේ ඉකොනොමි එකේ? oil prices වැඩි වෙයි. Right? Oil prices වැඩි වෙයි. ඉතින් oil prices වැඩි වුණාට පස්සේ වෙන දේවල් දන්නවනේ. නේද? අනිත් හැම good and services වලම prices වැඩි වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ bus fare වැඩි වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ කෑම බීම මේ හැමදේම වැඩි වෙනවා oil මත හැමදේම depend වෙන නිසා සහ interrelated නිසා. හරි එහෙනම් මොකද්ද ඔයාගේ idea එක? So when you come to import business, what will happen? So when the exchange rate increases, your cost also increases. එහෙනම් කලින් 2,03,000ක් ගෙවලා ගත්ත එකට දැන් ඔයාට සිද්ධ වෙනවා 2,15,000ක් pay කරන්න. එහෙනම් මේක හොඳ දෙයක්ද? නෑ නේද? මේක ඔයාලට threat එකක්. මේ අවස්ථාව opportunity එකක් because this is an unfavorable situation. Got it? Right. So at the same time, let's say you are an exporter. You are an exporter. අපි බලමු exporter කෙනෙක් වුණොත් කොහොමද කරන්නේ කියලා. Now you are a tea exporter. Right? Tea exporter කෙනෙක්. So now I took here as a tea exporter. හරි හිතන්න ඔයා දෙනවා tea. කොහොමද ගන්නෙ? tea barrel වලින් දෙන්නේ නැහැ නේද? tea barrel වලින් දෙනවද? නෑ නේද? tea කොහොමද measure කරන්නේ? Kilograms. I would say kilograms. Right? So this is a tea. Let's say this tea worth of let's say that $100 and $100 tea. I don't know, like maybe 10 kg or whatever the amount. Let's say $100 worth of tea. හරි දැන් මොකද කලින් උනේ වාට? එහෙනම් වාට ලැබුණ income එක 203 rupees into just $100. කීයක්ද? එද 20,300 නේ වාට ලැබුණේ. හැබැයි දැන් කීයක් ලැබෙනවද? 215 into $100. කීයක්ද? 21,500. Now you see, so as an exporter, this is a good chance for you because why? You earn more rupees. So more rupees for you. More rupees for you, right? As an income. Here you have to pay more rupees. So earn more rupees. Here you have to pay more rupees. So paying more rupees is not an opportunity. It's a threat, guys. You can see now here you are earning more rupees, something like that. So as a tea exporter, so that is why you cannot exactly say නේද මම මේක කලිනුත් explain කරා මොනවා හරි incident එකක් දිහා බලලා මේක හැමෝටම නරකයි කියලා කියන්න බෑ. ඒක incident එකක් සමහර parties වලට හොඳට ඒගොල්ලන්ට favorable වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් අයට ඒක unfavorable වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So now as per this case, you are an importer, so that is not a good, favorable thing for you. But if you are exporter, this is a favorable thing. Right. Shall we have a separate note on this in a short notebook? But do not worry, right? අපි මේවා ගැන මීට වඩා detail කතා කරන example එකක් කොහොමද මේ rate එක වෙනස් කරන්නේ, කවුද මේක change කරන්නේ, මේක 203 215 වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒවා ගැන අපි in detail කතා කරනවා. Because you might have a problem නේද? අයියෝ හිතන්න කොහොමද මේ rate එක වැඩි වුනේ කියලා. So there are reasons for that. අපි ඒවා ගැන in detail කතා කරනවා. Lesson number 3 and lesson number 7. Right, shall we take this example as well? Right, and the method in the llama. And if you have any unclear point, please. Guys, now we conduct this as a group class, right? You are not watching TV. මම මේ කලින් කියලා තියෙනවා නේද? මගේ ක්ලාස් එකට එනවා කියන්නේ ටීවී එක බලනවා වගේ නෙමෙයි. දැන් ටීවී එක බලද්දි ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ද මේ ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න එහෙම බෑනේ. අර සමහර ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් තියෙනවානේ කෝල් කරලා ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම මේක that is difference. But ඔයාලට දැන් මොනාරි නිවුස් වගේ යද්දි මේ පුළුවන් ද මේක තේරුන්නේ නැහැ කියලා අහන්න බෑනේ. You are just watching. But you know, but participate in this class is not that you are right, sit in front of the TV and watch. You have to be interact with me. So then only if there's any unclear points, so I'll be able to explain it to you again. So always keep that communicate. Right, shall we complete this one? And also guys, remember අද අපේ කීයද 12th දවස day 12. එතකොට බලන්නවා දවස් 12ක් මේ ක්ලාස් එකට ආවද කියලා. නේද? ඔයාලට මිස් වෙච්ච සෙෂන් තියෙනවා නම් බලන්න මොනවාද day number එක මට කියන්න. day 9 මට එන්න බැරිනවා day 10, right? So then I can provide you the recording so you can make sure you complete your notes. Right? From the beginning try to, you know, complete everything. කරන දේ අපි හරියට කරමු. So then there's no pressure, you know, when the exam is near the corner. Right, guys, shall I give like another 2 minutes? All done. Please raise your hands. You are still writing. Please raise your hand. Okay, Anil raise hand. Okay, Anil, I'll give like another 2 minutes. Guys, is it clear to you, right? පැහැදිලි නේද? import කෙනෙක් නම් ඔයාගේ වියදම වැඩි වෙනවා. එහෙනම් ඒක ඔයාලට හොඳ දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. හැබැයි export කෙනෙක් නම් ඔයාලට ලැබෙන income එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා same incident but impact in two ways to business. So if you are in the business to importer, so you have to pay more dollars, you have to pay more rupees. If you are engaged in a business who export items, so which is a good thing for you. හැබැයි generally මේක අපේ economy එකට බලපානවා. example එකක් විදිහට oil prices වැඩි වෙච්ච ගමන් අනිත් goods and services උත් වැඩි වෙනවා. Got it? Right. So with that we have kind of an activity where you can do. දැන් අපි ඩොලර් එක සාමාන්‍ය 203ක් වගේනේ officially යන්නේ. So I want you to find the rate for the following currencies. මම මේක screen එකට දාන්න. Right. Now will you be able to okay, fine. Right. So anyway, I'll drop a picture to the group as well. Right. හරි. අපිට පුළුවන් මේ activity එක fill කරගන්න. So not today, but you can work this on. Will you be able to write the foreign currencies? I want you to find the rate, right? So got it. So those are the main currencies. You got the US dollar, you got the euro, Japanese yen, Great British pound, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and yuan, that is for Chinese yuan. අපේට renminbi කියලා කියනවා. Chinese yuan. So I want you to find the rate in terms of rupees. කියන්නේ රුපිය එකක් ඩොලර් එකක් කීයද? මෙතන අපි ගත්තේ 203. So likewise euro එකක් කීයද in terms of rupees. Right? So will you be able to write those currencies? You can work this later. So I'll also drop a picture to the group as well. So if in case you missed, you can got this as well. Got it. Right. So you can complete that one, guys. So to give a quick overview, so we discussed the macro environment and we completed the political environment, legal, and today we discussed about the technological environment, and then we came to the economical environment. Now, economical environment take factors keep that. So then for next week, we'll be able to complete demography environment, social, global, and natural environment. And then we'll be done with the lesson number one. Again, there are a couple of topics that we need to discuss, some small areas to be discussed. Right, guys, so that's about it. So about the physical class starting, like I said, so for those who I'll be sharing the recording as well. So for Malabe and Panadura, I'll be starting. So if you are live close by, you can join probably from the February first week onwards. So I'll keep you informed in the group as well as individually. I'll be informing you. And also don't worry, the class will be conducted as it is usual. Online class So additionally, anith classes start karanne, right? So that's the update from my end. Right, guys. So thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, please get back to me and we'll see you next week. Thank you.